What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, coming back at you with a quick video. Have barely any time to do this. I'm still waiting on my tournament matchup, so luckily I was able to squeeze this in before that. You guys really wanted me to get my thoughts and opinions on the Eagles schedule here. And you know, we already knew the teams, but now we see where and when we're going to be playing them. First of all, we will start with the preseason. We're going 4-0. We're the preseason Super Bowl champions every single year. Next thing of note is we have a Week 10 bye, which is exactly what I wanted. I put it on Twitter right before they announced the schedule that I'm sick and tired of having these early week byes. Week 10 bye is great. Like, this is in retrospect. If we had the Week 10 bye last year, we would have had Lane Johnson for the final stretch. I don't really know if that would have changed a whole lot, but, you know, it is what it is. I like the Week 10 bye. That's a good bye for the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, we get a little bit of a break, and hopefully, like, the thing was, Jesus Christ, already, I'm working on the, Chip Kelly rebuild next, so I've already had a couple beers here. But the thing is just with the Week 4 bye we had last year, killed all the momentum off the first 3 victories, and realistically, you're not going to, you know, not statistically speaking, injuries can happen at any time, but it seems like more often than not, your team's going to be a little bit more beat up midway through the season than at Week 4. So a Week 10 bye is going to be a lot more beneficial to the Philadelphia Eagles squad. But without further ado, let's jump right into the schedule, see where I think a win's going to happen, where I think a loss is going to happen. Usually, I'm fairly professional when I do this. I'll write it out, write down some thoughts and opinions. Not tonight. No, not tonight. I got a tournament matchup I'm waiting for. So, we're just going to go through every single matchup, see what we got. So, we open up on September 10th against the Washington Redskins at Washington. I think that's going to start out as a loss. Washington seems to have our number, and I don't know what it is about that. I think if we can beat Washington, it's going to be at home at Lincoln Financial Field in prime time later on in the season. I think to start out the gate, that very well could be a win. I don't know if I want to say we should win that game because the Eagles on paper are probably a little bit stronger than the Washington Redskins, at least offensively, with the Redskins losing Pierre Garçon, losing Deshaun Jackson. Wait to see what happens with the running back situation. Still the draft. Maybe they'll get a Dalvin Cook. Who knows? But I think that's going to open up the season as a loss, and there's going to be a great rage video to go with that. Week 2, we're going to visit Big Red in Kansas City on Sunday, September 17th in Kansas City. And I think we're losing another one there. I think that's going to be 0-2. It's going to be frustrating. Obviously, I would say that we're more likely to win the first game against the Washington Redskins than we are against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a very good team, but more so about that, Andy Reid usually is good against young quarterbacks, and it seems like Doug Peterson's offense may struggle against the guy that he invented it. Maybe they'll be able to shut it down. I think that's good. And plus, playing in Kansas City, that's one of the toughest away environments to deal with. So I think we're starting the season off at 0-2, which is not very nice. And those are both on the road. But then, September 24th at home, we have the New York Giants. And much like the Washington Redskins have been able to put on a beating on the Philadelphia Eagles, I think we're going to win this one. We own the Giants as of late. You know, beat New York every single time, especially at home. This is going to be a big-time win. Not going to be an easy game. Never is any real easy games in the NFC East. But I do believe we get our first victory in our first home game against the New York Giants. Going to Week 4, Sunday, October 1st, we go to LA, wherever the fuck they're playing this year, and we take on the Chargers. And I've seen a lot of teams, or a lot of people already say this is going to be a loss. I think that's going to be a win. I think that we're going to win one of the games between either the first matchup with the Redskins and the Chargers. And I think the Chargers aren't as good as people think they're going to be. I think if healthy, they're still a very top squad, but I don't think that they're going to have enough in terms of... Like, it's always tough because you have to, like, assume that they're going to be injured already. But I think on paper, when all's said and done, we match up fairly well against what they bring to the table, especially in the secondary. I think Alshon Jeffrey against some undersized corners. They're not undersized. They don't have any big... I don't really see anyone right now on the Chargers defense, depending on maybe they get Malik Hooker or they get something like that in the draft. It is kind of tough to do these predictions before the draft. But I think that our wide receivers match up very well. And by wide receivers, I pretty much mean Zach Ertz and... Alshon Jeffrey against what the Chargers have to do to stop us. But then again, the same can be said for the Chargers. Who the hell are going to be our fucking corners? Start up. They have Keenan Allen, Tyrell Williams right out the gate. They got Hunter Henry as emerging tight end. Same could be said that, but I feel we won that game against San Diego to move to 2-2. Week 5, October 8th, we take on the Arizona Cardinals at home. And I think that this is going to be a loss. And you know why? Because the Cardinals always seem to beat us. Doesn't matter if the Eagles are Super Bowl bound. We could be 15-0 going into Week 17 playing the Cardinals that are 1-14. We will lose. I don't know what it is. You know, with the Redskins, it's not as bad, but I think the number one team that has our number in the NFL is the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know why. I think the Cardinals are going to be weak this year. I felt that last year was really the final year in that window that they had to really compete. I think now it's just more so going to be a farewell to Larry Fitzgerald, and they're going to find out that Carson Palmer may not be the option, and hopefully they have a next quarterback waiting in the wings. But for that game there, man, you have to go just with this history. I don't know what it is. Bruce Arians just knows how, even before Bruce Arians, it's just something about the Cardinals that I don't like. David Johnson's probably going to have a motherfucking monstrous game, so that will make us 2-3. Then in Week 6, Thursday, October 12th, in prime time, we take on the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. I think that's going to be a win. Very similar to the Cardinals. I think we have the Panthers number. We beat the Panthers. We shut them out a year ago. 2 years ago, sorry, and then last year, was it last year we played them? Whatever, the last 2 games we played the Panthers, one game we bodied them, and the other game was the year they went 15-1 or whatever, and I think we gave them the most trouble that entire season out of any team in that regular season, aside from I think they lost to the Falcons near the end. So I think that we match up very well against the Carolina Panthers. That's a tough environment. It is an away game, but in primetime, I think Carson Wentz will come up big, and that will give us a 3-3 record. Going into Week 7, Monday, primetime game, back-to-back primetime games, baby. October 23rd against the Washington Redskins. They're coming home. I think we'll get them here. I think the Eagles will go to 4-3, beating the Washington Redskins at home. They'll split the series. I think that's at least it's trending in the right direction, because it seems like we always have our worst performances of the season against the Washington Redskins, but I think we will show up big in primetime at the Link and be able to move to 4-3. Week 8, Sunday, October 29th. If I go to a game this year, it's looking unlikely with the baby, but if I do go to a game, it'll probably be this one. Sunday, October 9th, the San Francisco 49ers are coming to town. That is going to be a win. I think the Niners are going to be the worst team in the NFL next year, so that bumps us up to a nice 5-3 record. I mean, what else can I say? I don't think the 49ers offensively have anything that can trouble our defense, and I think defensively, they don't really have much that can trouble our offense. Going to Week 9, Sunday, November 5th, we take on the Denver Broncos, and this is a tough matchup, because I think we match up very well against the Denver Broncos, but This is where, like, I have to admit we have to throw some loss. I'm going to give that a fucking win. I don't give a shit. The more I think about it, I think we can beat Denver. I know Denver is a team with that defense. They're going to be hoping to do some big things in the AFC. They're going to, but they're coming to Philly. They're making that travel here. They're not going to be at Mile High. I think we can beat them. I think they still have a lot of trouble on the offensive side of the ball. Sure, their defense is great, but now at least we have some capable wide receivers, and Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, and Jordan Matthews finally can play on the inside. Doesn't have to be reliant on the number 1 role. Fingers crossed, like every Eagle fan, that this is going to be the year that Zach Ertz finally puts it all together. Hopefully you have a Joe Mixon coming up the backfield. I think we can win that game. I think that will be a surprising victory for the Philadelphia Eagles as we move to 6-3, going into the Week 10 bye, which is where we're great. And then coming out of the bye in week number 11, Sunday, November 19th, we take on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. I think that will be a loss. Trust me, we're going to split this series. So, but I think in Dallas, off the bye, it's just, I don't know what it is. Usually teams you want to favor that you're going to win coming off the bye, but I see what we saw last year in the Philadelphia Eagles where we got the bye. We had momentum. We would have had, 3-4 wins in a row. I think similar thing. That even though the Week 10 bye is nice in terms of injuries, I'm a little bit worried that that's going to kill our momentum a little bit. And then we're going to come into Dallas, and Dallas is going to be, I think it's going to be another tight race for the NFC East this year. I think Dallas kind of gives us a very disappointing loss, where we're unable to capitalize on our momentum after the bye week. So we are going to fall to 6-4. Going to Week 12, November 26th against the Chicago Bears. We're going to win that to go to 7-4. I think the Bears, we saw what we did against them last year. Now we just straight up ahead and fleeced them. Well, we didn't fleece them. But we took their best offensive weapon. Debatably with him and Jordan Howard. We took their best offensive weapon, and now we're going back to bring the pain at Lincoln Financial Field. And I think that's going to be a big-time victory to go to 7-4. Week 13, Sunday, December 3rd, we go to Seattle again. What the fuck? Stop putting us in Seattle. That's a loss. That's 7-5. Seahawks are incredibly difficult at home. It was embarrassing last year. I thought we stood a chance last season against fucking Seattle, and Russell Wilson ended up being better than any wide receiver that we had on that day as he caught a receiving touchdown, which was incredibly frustrating. So now we're sitting at a 7-4 record. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know where we're at. Let's see. Too many beers has happened. So we won 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3, 4, 5, 6, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4. So we're 7-5 after Week 13 against Seattle Seahawks. Then in Week 14, Sunday, December 10th, we take on the LA Rams in LA. That's still a victory. Rams do not match up well offensively. It's going to be a nice battle to see Jared Goff versus Carson Wentz. But we all know Wentz is a better quarterback. They certainly have a great defense, but I think offensively they're going to do shit all. I think our offense is better than theirs. So that is going to be 8-5. Then Sunday, the 15th, we take on the New York Giants at New York. Victory. So that's going to go to 9-5 against the Giants. We own the Giants. There's no other way to put it. We simply own the New York Giants. That's what happens. So then Week 16 and Monday, on Christmas Day, Monday, December 25th, we take on the Oakland Raiders in prime time. That's going to be a loss. I think it'll be a shootout type game, but I'm going to have to go with Derek Carr in this one. So that's 9-6. Yeah, 9-6 going into the final game Sunday, December 31st on two big-time games for the Philadelphia Eagles. God, hopefully first Christmas, first New Year's with the babies. Get to watch some Eagles football. Sunday, December 31st, they take on the Dallas Cowboys at home. And this is where I think it's either going to be a win or a loss. I think the Eagles this year are going to be 9-7 or 10-6, depending on if Alshon Jeffrey can stay healthy. Depending on if the whole team can stay healthy. But so, for the fact to end this video on a positive note, we're going to win that final game in Week 17 and go to 10-6 on the season. My gut says 9-7. No matter, I just keep thinking about this year coming. I think 9-7 for the Philadelphia Eagles. That may be good enough to compete for the second wildcard spot in the NFC. But the way we just did this here, off the fucking hip, we have a 10-6 record for the Philadelphia Eagles. But that is all dependent on Alshon Jeffrey staying healthy. Because if Alshon Jeffrey goes down, which he's proven that he can't really stay healthy for a full season, our wide receiver core is pretty much what we had last year. That was unacceptable. A lot relying on Alshon Jeffrey. He stays healthy, I think 10-6. If Alshon Jeffrey gets hurt, we're going to be probably in the 8-8, 9-7 mode. But I still think we're going to be a very good team and a certain contender. Not a Super Bowl contender yet. I mean, anything can happen if we can go on a nice Leicester City miracle run. But I think 9-7, 10-6 will be a record. So let me know, guys, in the comment section below what you think our record will be. Of course, if you have any differentiating opinions here for anything that I said is a win, you might think it's a loss. If I think it's a loss, you might think it's a win. But I think all of us can agree, finally, we have a Week 10 bye week, which is nice. And hell yeah, man, those final two games, that's going to be nice on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So thank you guys for watching. I got to go get ready for a Madden YouTubers tournament game. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for my opponents to get announced. So thank you all for watching. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace.